We can see me, hear me, and see the screen as well.
Yes, Sunita.
Yes.
Let's start the class now. Let's start the class with prayer. Close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from your Guru to our goddesses. But then slowly open please. Okay, as usual, we are going with the fee section. First thing we are going to learn about the today's pujaram, followed with the today's horoscope class, then finally ending up with the horoscope discussion. Okay. So as usual, today's pujaram, Mangal in the Rishiva, Buddhan in the Midhuna, Surya Guru in the Kadaga, Shukra Kedu in the Sama, Chandra in the Kanya, Rahu in the Kumbha, Sani in the Meena. So as usual, we have to see the king and the queen. King is in the Kadagarasi. Yeah, king is in the Kadagarasi along with the Guru. Chandra is in the Kanni Rasi. This is the best day for the people who belongs to Kanya Lagna, Kanya Rasi, or the Kanni Rasi becomes the 8th house, 6th house, 4th house for them. If these are the best, what is the best day for? Why we need to look at the Chandra? Wherever the Chandra is. So when that Rasi becomes a Rashi or the Lagna, then that is the best day for to see ourselves, to go inward with ourselves. But that is not that's not easiest process. It took lots and lots of patience, and you have to have that much practice to go inwardly, particularly on these things. It makes you to test. It makes you to break all your patience, and it makes you to test in every ways it can. Yeah. But this is the best day for to see yourself, how your mind works, where it is saturated, where you get agitated, where you get happy. These are the best days to know about yourself. Let's get into Panchang for today. Sunrise is 6 a.m. Moonrise is the 10:28. Sunset and moonset. Sunset is 6:41. Moonset is the 10:36 p.m. So the sunrise and the moonrise best for when we look for the I don't know how to say in English not only for the full moon. Not only for the full moon, there is another one important day for after the Amavasya, the third day of the moon. That is, in Tamil we call it as a moon Ramdrai. That is easily you can't even see. You can see the moon in every other day, but the third day of the moon, after the Amavasya, the Tritiya, that is on the going phase of the moon, particularly on the third day of the moon, it's really, really rare to see. But if you are able to see the third day of the moon, it is the best day. You can do for the moon gazing at least for 10 to 20 minutes. It's so powerful, particularly on the third day. So that is the day you have to see the moonrise also. Moonrise and the moonset. Between these time only you have to see the third day of the moon. That too in the growing phase after the Amavasya. That's in Tamil we call this the moon Ramdrai. And how it will looks like, if you can see the symbol of the Muslim, the 786, there was an moon underneath, right? Exactly it looks like in the sky. It's the best day to see the moon.
Crescent,
and also
the crescent face of the moon.
Yes, crescent face of the moon, exactly. That is the best day. And along with when you see the moon on the full moon, again it was two best day. Okay, there is also one more thing about the moon. Even in the Amavasya day, there was no moon in the sky or on the Purnami, particularly on Amavasya, the people who do what they Nowadays it was we are living in an apartment, but earlier days they have the terrace, or at least the in front of them they have a big veranda. They put the rice or the dal under the sun, under the terrace, to get the amavasya power, mostly on the amavasya day. It's best also on the Purnami days. What it will do, that gets the energy of the moon, and it won't get spoiled. The particularly the dal and rice won't get spoiled easy. The people will do yearly, but nowadays it's really rare. We are getting the packed items. But why we need to see the sunrise and the moonrise? It's this for all the reasons. And I'm still recommend you to do the moon gazing whenever possible. For if you're for the full moon day, it's so good. Third day of the moon after the Amavasya, it is too good. But the third day is totally impossible. Mostly 90% of the time, it won't be seen on the sky. You're really, really lucky, and the nature it allows you to see. That is the best day. So don't miss that. When it comes into the sunrise, earlier days the sun gazing will do, but nowadays you have to be follow under the guidance of the guru. So I will recommend you on that. But you can do the sun arghya. But whenever you do the sun gazing, you should not gaze how you do the moon gazing. You directly look into the moon, right? But when do the sun rising, you have to see through the water. So the sun reflect through the water, then you have to see that gazing. When that's how you do in the Argya, right? The same thing you have to do the sun gazing. But it have to be followed, at least sun gazing only, get the guidance from the Guru and do that. But Argya is so easy. Chant the Surya mantra, and in front of the sun, rising sun particularly, then you pour the water, but you have to see the sun rays through the water. Okay, that is also increase the power increase the sun's energy in your body. Let's see the Pancha. Tiri is the Sashti, followed by the Saptami. Nakshatra is the Uttra Palguni, followed by the Hasta. Yoga is the Pariga, followed by the Shiva. Karana is the Gaulava, Taitala, and the Garaja. Weekday is the Ravivara, Paksha is the Shukla Paksha. As usual, you have to remember the Kalapurusha chart all the time. Okay, there is no bypass from this. This is, you have to mark up in your mind, and it have to be in the back of your mind all the time. Okay. Quickly revise our first year classes. A very, very quick revision. Two things I guess. Yeah, three things today. The fixed relationship. Most of the time, when it comes into the graha, there are the two types of relationship. There is a dynamic one. It's dynamic one, and the fixed one. This relationship is fixed. It won't be changed at any point in time. But there is also one more relation that is dynamic. It's based on the placement of the graha, 2, 3 between. If one graha was placed next to two rashis or between two rashis, it gets the dynamic relationship. But you have to concentrate on the dynamic relationship. No, at this moment, concentrate on the fixed relationship. That is the Naisargika relationship. That is more than it. Okay? When it comes into the sun, friends are the moon, Mars, and the Jupiter. So how you can easily remember? There are the group of the peoples, sun, moon, Mars, Jupiter belongs to one group. And the other group, Mercury, Saturn, Venus comes to another group. So make it as these two groups, you can easily identify the friends and the neutral and enemies. Sun belongs to moon because a sun is, imagine the sun is the king, Queen is the moon, Mars is your general, and Jupiter is your teacher. So the sun, moon, Mars, Jupiter becomes, for the sun, moon, Mars, Jupiter is the friend, neutral is the Mercury, enemy is the Venus and the Sun. When it comes into the moon, Sun and the for the moon, regardless of everybody, every graha is friends to the moon. There was no enemies, so you can eliminate the enemy part. For the friend, Sun and the Mercury is a closed family, right? That is the friends. Neutral, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, and the Saturn. For the Mars, again, the king is friend, queen is friend, and the advisor is also friend. That is Jupiter. Sun, Moon, Jupiter is the friend. Venus and the Saturn is a neutral. Mercury is the enemy for the Mars. And comes into Mercury, Sun and the Venus friends. Mars, Jupiter, Saturn is neutral. Here you have to remember, for the Mercury, Moon is the enemy. Okay, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Mars friends. Saturn is a neutral. For enemy for Jupiter is Mercury and the Venus. Venus, Mercury, and the Saturn is a friend. For enemy is for neutral is the Mars and Jupiter, and enemy is the Sun and the Moon. Saturn, Mercury, Venus is the friend for Saturn. Jupiter is the neutral, and the Sun, Moon, Mars are the enemy. In the fixed relationship, keep that in mind. If you can remember this, but when you practice again and again, it comes in your mind all automatically. So don't worry about this. Okay, let's see about the Maranakaraka. Maranakaraka is the time when in your birth chart, where the planet was placed, that the placement of the Graha may cause the challenging effect or may cause the some kind of the obstacles in your life. If particularly this placement of the Graha in your birth chart. Okay. For example, if Sun is in the 12th house, Moon is in the 8th house, Mars is in the 7th house, Mercury is in the 4th house, Jupiter is in 3rd, Venus is in 6th, Sun is in Saturn, Ketu is 4th, Rahu is in the 9th. This will definitely cause the different obstacles in your life. Okay, now comes to the Bhatagasthana. We already saw in the last week revision also, so quickly. Movable for the for the Shara Rasi, that is 11th house is the Bhatagasthana. Fixed is the 9th house. Dual, that is Upaya Rasi, that is 7th house is the Bhatagasthana. So when it comes into the Rashi, what are the Chara Rasi? Mesha, Kadaka, Tula, Magara. For them, the 11th house becomes the Bhatagasthana. Fixed Rasi is Rishabha, Simha, Vrikshaka, Kumbha. 9th house becomes the Bhatagasthana. For the Upaya Rasi, Mithuna, Kanya, Dhanu, Meena, 7th house becomes the Bhatagasthana. Okay. The same thing is represented here, but what is the difference here? The Lord of the obstacles also. So how you can easily remember that, right? For an example, Mesha 11th house becomes the Kumbha, who's the Lord? Saturn is the Lord. Rishabha 9th house is the Lord of obstacle. Then who's the Lord? Saturn. Because Magara Rasi, Saturn is the Lord. Like that, it goes for the Meena. Okay. So let's enter into our last week revision. Sun and the moon, when sun's energy and the moon's energy combine together, what you will get effect? Sun mostly is significant for the authorityness, dominance, and holding the leadership, and it wants to lead everything, even in the household, even in your professional life. The sun wants to lead the. That's kind of the dominant energy. Belongs to the government, but holds the honesty in everything. Direct speech comes to sun. It's kind of an aggressive energy, not aggressive as Mars. Sun is the dominant but forceful energy. When it comes into the moon, moon is the kind of female energy, very soft, sweet, tender energy. It mostly belongs to the emotion and the will. In anybody's chart, if the sun is not in an auspicious location, their energy is not that much good, and they may not able to do any actions in their life. When it comes into the moon, if the moon was not in an auspicious location, then that emotion is imbalance comes often. Their mind is not stable at one point. Okay? When sun and moon combines together, these people, so there are a higher chance they can getting into the profession of the spiritual guide, counselor. They're very good in teaching. Mostly their energy is flow. Their energy comes again. They have an energy to do more work. Okay. Then comes into the sun and the Mars. Okay. When comes in the sun and Mars, again the sun is for the energy and an activity. Mars here is an it's a kind of powerful warrior. This force is an aggressive force. It wants to do it. It's blindly will go and do it without any action. But when the sun was combined, the brilliancy, the talent is also combined together with the forcefulness, and it becomes then adventurous. These people wants to make adventurous activities in everything. Uh, they are the initiative in every process. They don't want to stay behind. They want to lead all the people. They are like looks like an powerful general, powerful dominant general. Mostly these people lead an organization as a CEO, executive director. Okay. Now let's coming into the sun and the Mercury. Here, sun again is holds power for the energy. Mercury here is an intellectual analytical skill. When these two combine together, these people are very, very intelligent, particularly organized. You see their study table or work table, the workstation is very much clean and organized. Even they are very much, if you see the people who have the Saturn and the Mercury combination, they're very well educated, they're very intellectual. But when you see their study table or workstation, you want to go away from that place. Everything was scattered, but their energy was like that. When it comes into the Sun and the Mercury, they're intellectual, they are very good in maths, analytical skill, and they are very intelligent in managing the finance. Same time, they're organized everything very well. They're clever in mind, very much with the numbers in that. What are the professions good for them? Financial related, anything. Okay. And also anything relating with the document for a document related, company secretary or record of bookkeeping recorders. So anything related with intellectual things, documentation kind of profession is very much suited for them. Okay, now let's getting into our lesson. Now we are going to see the combination of the sun and the Jupiter. Sun, we already know the sun is the graha which is meant for authority, administration, dominance, hold the leadership, and it's also meant for government. Sun is like a father's energy. Want to give all kind of protective shield to everybody in their family. Want to lead the people, protect the people, save the people, everything. What the fathers can do, how much he can do. That's imagine that's as a son. So it's a more energetic and the activity oriented. When it comes into the Jupiter is the divine wisdom and it will naturally expand. If you have a knowledge, it will expand. If you have money, it will expand. Okay. What is the unfortunate thing? If you have any kind of ulcer in your body, that is also will expand. That is the nature of the Jupiter. That's why the people who mostly have the cancer in their horoscope, if the Jupiter was aspecting, then that definitely will expand the ulcer, that will expand the cancer. That's the demerit of that. That's one of the side effect of the Jupiter. The expansion in everything, each and everything. It's in your health, wealth, and in your disease also. Okay. Now let's see about the suns and the Jupiter's energy. Sun holds the leadership quality. Jupiter holds the highest wisdom. So, see how the Mercury holds the knowledge. It's an intellectual, whatever the thing which you read from the books, whatever the knowledge you gained from the books. The Jupiter is the thing. After you gaining the knowledge, after you release lots and lots of the books and you gain, study under somebody or study from any university or whatever the institution it is. When you read and understand, grab the knowledge, there was a wisdom comes out of it, right? That is a Jupiter's energy. If your Jupiter is highly auspicious, if your Jupiter is in a good position in your horoscope, the wisdom comes to you easy. The, these peoples will behave highly mature because there is a dominant authoritative energy which is so honest and respect and straightforward that is combined along with the divine and the wisdom which have an expansive quality. What that people will become? They're highly mature. And these people are so sincere in whatever they are doing, even in their personal work, in the personal life or in the professional life. They are very much show their sincerity in every work. And much more they are integrated. Okay, so best quality for Sun and Jupiter is they are very much in the comforting zone. So most of the people, they may, they are very kind in nature. They want to help others. The high quality they may hold, but they don't know how to support others, how to comfort others. But when the Sun and Jupiter combine, this all the great people to know which word to use, how to comfort, on what the situation is. They understand the situation, they place the words accordingly, and they provide the comfort exactly needed. There is no unnecessary action in that case. The expansiveness is highly the best quality for the Sun and the Jupiter. Whichever occupation they are doing, whichever the job they are taking it, they definitely will succeed. There is no doubt about it. When the sun's energy and the Jupiter's energy combine it together, if it was in auspicious position, that is not in the hidden location, then they will definitely succeed in any occupation. Then you may ask, if it is in the hidden houses, 6 8 12, what will happen? They won't succeed, they will succeed. But it depends upon their health. It depends upon the wealth of the person. Success will be graded accordingly. But most of the time, 90% of the people will success in their occupation. Okay, what are the best occupation for these people? Because the Jupiter is combined, the Sun. The Sun hold the leadership. Jupiter hold the wisdom. Definitely, they involved in the advisory. If they are trying to give any advice, definitely it will give a good thing to the other peoples also. Consultants, possibly, counselor, mostly, and they are the best peoples to mentor others. Even if you have the n number of the mentors, but if your mentor is the combination with the Sun and the Jupiter combination, they mentoring you in your life prominently, and that is exactly suits your life. Okay? Mostly they are because the Jupiter was involved, spirituality and divine level in your life is really high. And the Sun is combined, and this energy leads you into the spiritual. Possibly, spiritual leader is highly possible. The spokesperson can be anything. Even in your family, also, these people become the spokesperson, and in your professional life, these people becomes the spokesperson. They are trying to do that. They maintain diplomacy in every level. You you can't make that person to no wrong words will be come out of them. They maintain the diplomacy all the time. If and because the Jupiter is involved, the writing capacity is also comes as an inbuilt quality for them. Okay, this is the same thing when Sun is in. Now, imagine the Sun was in a Sagittarius and the Jupiter is in the. Now, this is an example thing. Jupiter in the Leo. This is also considered as the Sun and the Jupiter combination. So, what are the things you have to consider? So, in your birth chart, you may have the Sun and the Jupiter combination. This is also considered, this is the direct combination near birth chart. So, you have to consider this is the Sun and the Jupiter combination. But you may also have the Sun in the Jupiter's house, Jupiter in the Sun's house. This is also considered as the Sun and the Jupiter combination. Okay? Anybody having this kind of the combination, Sun and the Jupiter?
I have in the nakshatras, but not in the rashis.
Okay, then we will see that the same horoscope when we study the nakshatra. Okay, that tells you more. Okay, we'll move to the next combination. It is the Sun and the Venus. This is a wonderful combination. Why? The Sun is a male energy and Venus is the female energy. The Sun, which is called for energy and activity, it's like a king. The king wants to do all kind of the honest work, honest work, want to dominate other people's, hold the authority, and exactly like a king, and want to save the people, protect the people. That kind of the mentality was the sun. And Venus was in a different zone. It's the kind of the Venus, the female energy, interested towards the beauty, desire, and the prosperity, and art and culture. It wants to enjoy the life. The sun, which is hold the responsibility, want to most of the time it pulls responsibility. But Venus wants a fun in the life, want to enjoy everything in the life. See everything as an art, culture, and the dance, music. Venus feels want every day is a funful day. But for the sun, every day because the sun is the king, right? He holds the responsibility. Want to save the people, protect the people. Energy is totally different. When it comes into the Venus, the fun. Now imagine, now combined this energy together, the sun and the Venus combined, what it will become? These peoples are charming in nature because why? The sun's energy and the Venus energy combined together, these peoples are very, very charming. Uh, Even if you were sit in front of them, you want to see one more time of these people. These people are really charismatic. And you want to speak with them, and these people make you to speak and want to sit next to them, and you will look at them, stare at them. Just like that, the charmingness will be increased every day. That particularly for the opposite sex. If it was in the female horoscope, the male was attracted. If it is in the male horoscope, female was attracted. Most of the time, these peoples are can able to do I would say it was the beings and Venus energy combined together. They're much more interested towards the art and culture. But here the energy was balanced. If it was an only Venus energy, they have the fun full every day. It was the responsible and honest energy is also involved here. So they make the balanced in their life. Which are the things which are the occupations is best suited for them? If they become an actor, actress, or if they do the job in the theaters or the performer. And particularly, if the very important things I saw in this kind of a combination was the photogenic. You see the person in mirror, in real, this person will look really beautiful, and you want to see the person as much as you want. But when you take a photo of them, they won't be that much charming. The charisma is not be reflected in the photograph. It is a two-dimension. But when the Sun and the Venus combination was there, they look very, very photogenic, and you want to take more photograph. That kind of the nature, the Sun and Venus combination will be there. If they're involved in the computing and the design and design related or celebrity, mostly these people becomes a celebrity. Sun and Venus combination in the right position holds the right amount of an energy, the individual will reach the celebrity level. Okay. Second. Okay. The same thing we have to consider. When the sun was in the Rishabha, the sun, imagine a situation, the Venus was in the Leo. So this is also considered as the Sun-Venus combination. So now imagine a situation, now your sun was in the Leo. This is also Sun and the Venus combination. Anybody having this combination, Sun and the Venus? Or you may directly have this kind of Sun and Venus in anywhere. Sun and Venus combination directly in your birth chart. That is also considered as the Sun-Venus combination. Or Sun-Venus and aspecting. That is also considered as the Sun-Venus combination. Okay, can we move on? Sun and the Saturn. This is a beautiful combination. Everybody want to thought of, I don't want this one. That kind of a combination is the sun and the Saturn. Why? The sun is the kind of wants to do everything and it wants to maintain the honest, it holds the authority, leadership. It's a kind of the king's energy for this energy. Saturn, on the other end, was focus oriented, mostly get delayed all the time. It's do its work, most highly disciplined and judgmental in nature. Wants to even if he or she is working in any one of the place, he wants to justify what he got. If the people will say no, it's okay. Whatever if you paid for 100, you did for 100. That's okay, but they won't stop. If they paid for 100, they want to do the work for 10,000 rupees. That kind of the person is the Saturn. Saturn mostly wants to make the perfect in the job. That's why it gets delayed, and it becomes much more disciplined. But it was very very hard worker. Very hard worker means you can't even imagine how much they are hard working. Okay? Okay, now imagine the situation: the Sun and the Saturn. But you have to remember the story also. Sun is the father, Saturn is the son, but both of them they are not in a good relationship. Sun was not in a good relationship with Saturn. Saturn would like his father. Saturn wants to move away from his father, far away from his father. That is the nature of the Saturn. Sun was disliked the Saturn. Now imagine a situation, but these two people are combined together and sitting in your horoscope together. What kind of energy it will be, right? Mostly these people are efficient in whatever they are, hardworking. Why? Saturn's energy is coming, it is the hardworking. Most efficiency is coming because of the sun's energy. And these are the people you can see. They have the kind of the routine in their life. They don't want the changes in their life. If they are starting in the morning, whatever they want to do, they have the kind of the structure. Okay, I have to do this one, I have to do that one. That is my early morning and the mid morning and the afternoon. And after the afternoon, what I have to do, in the evening, what I have to do, they have the full timetable. If they miss anything, they feel like the day was not fulfilled. And they feel like, oh my God, my day was not even good. And today is not my day. That the thought process may be like this for the sun and the Saturn combination. Mostly these people, they want to go out of the convention because the sun want to follow the convention. The sun is not like Venus. Venus want to do anything outrageous, anything out of conventional. But sun want to follow the tradition. Sun want to follow the convention. Here the Saturn. The Saturn won't go away from any people. The Saturn is a good judge as well. It won't go out of the convention. It wants to follow the system. It wants to follow whatever the other peoples are following. Here it was a dependable energy. Because the Sun and Saturn combination, it becomes independable, but most of the time they will pull each other from the relationship. Most of the time, if the Sun and the Saturn combination is combined, they will be very happy when they are alone. Most of the time, the people will say, no, I'm lonely. These people want to feel they are lonely. They are happy when they are alone and they enjoy the loneliness. Okay, when it comes into the occupation, mostly labor intensive is really good for them. If they have put their effort into an agriculture, that's too good. But imagine a situation when the Saturn is good, not retro, that is the good for them. But when the Saturn is retrograde, don't go for an agriculture. But don't go for a labor intensive also. It makes you to work too much and you won't gain anything. These people become indispensable in whichever they are doing. Mostly, whichever it is a labor intensive, like craftsman, sculptor, autopsy, forensic, the labor intensive are kind of the thing that you can't digest. It becomes disgust for every other people. But for them, it is for their work. they won't consider anything as the disgusting in their work. They feel, okay, this is my work, I have to do. You can't feel that kind of the people, right? Mostly they are interested, they may involved in the archaeologist also. But and which is Sun and the Saturn combination, this is involves the robotics also. Okay. Here is an important thing. As I said earlier, the father son or the father daughter, their wavelength doesn't match any point in time. If they are living far away from each other, the relationship is maintained. There is no quarrel in the families. They can live their life happily. But when they are living together, when they are seeing each other in everyday life, the relationship is not good. The relationship becomes imbalanced. They can't maintain the uh, integrity in the family as much as they can. If they are far away, they can only talk at the phone or once in a while visit. They can maintain the relationship. Okay. Anybody having Sun and Saturn?
Vanita, I have this on the previous slide, but all in one. So I think
Okay,
we
tell
can't
me.
divide two, right? It's just a four.
Okay, tell me which one it is.
Uh, Kataka Rasi, Sun.
Sun. Oh, you were Saran, right?
Yeah.
Saran, I have your horoscope. Sun, Mercury, Saturn, and Venus, right?
Mm.
Okay, you have a Sun and Mercury combination.
Sun, Mercury, Saturn as well. I think
Um,
this is not a good example, but it's because it's not just one and two, right?
no, you have okay. When you have the number of grahas like you, this is the best chart, right? When we have the 11th house, we will read more, but the current, I can say now, like when you have these four grahas, order them into the degree level, then combine like this: Sun, Mercury, Mercury, Saturn, Saturn, and the Venus. So that this becomes a three combination. Even if you have one more grahas also, then that goes like this: Venus plus something.
Okay, okay.
I don't consider like a Sun and a Saturn, Mercury and the Venus. That combination won't work.
Okay, okay, okay. Got it.
But there was one more scenario also you can see. This is the first thing you have to see the priority over whatever the grahas present in the Rasi. So here the Sun, Mercury, Saturn, Venus, you have to consider that combination first. Sun, Mercury, Mercury, Saturn, Saturn, Venus. This will do a lot. If you, when somebody was telling or you also see reading your horoscope, then if it was not matched, then go one level deeper. What is that? So who's the owner? Here the moon is the owner. Then combine the moon with the sun, moon with the Mercury, moon with the Saturn, moon with the Venus. Then again combine where it was in your birth chart and which house along which graha. That will tell you the different story altogether. Then okay, here I will tell you one example here. Now this was Saturn and the Venus, Saturn and the Venus. So the immediately the people will say, okay, you will get more money, the richness will come because Saturn and the Venus combination was there. But here there was a one checkpoint. The richness will grow once you get married. Okay, then once this word was coming, then you have to see where where is the marriage related stuff was there. Then you will see on your horoscope today exam. So when you read in a horoscope, you have to go through like this for me, two grahas. Don't combine it together all at once. You won't find an answer. Okay? So once you have this combination, then read the aspect of the grahas. Then if you still didn't find an answer, then go with the owner of the house. Then that will definitely give you an answer. But even then, if this is not giving you an answer, there was one more layer uh, which we not yet learned. That is about the stars of the graha, which is it. Now, the sun was in the Pushya Nakshatra, Mercury was in all the grahas is in the Pushya Nakshatra. So then we will learn about when the Pushya Nakshatra, this graha was there, what it will do. That will tell you the whole story. You don't need to worry about anything. That will exactly tell you what it is. Then you will find an answer easily. Okay. Now let's come back here. Okay. The Saturn. Now, when you see the Sun and the Saturn, here you can consider this also Sun and Saturn. Okay, where is it? Sun in the Kumbha or in the Makara. This is also considered as the Sun and the Saturn combination. Okay, but here the one thing you have to remember: this is the combination when the Sun is not retrograde. The same goes for every other grahas. Okay, Sun and Moon don't get retrograde. Rahu and Ketu already retrograde in nature. Remaining other 5 grahas, you have to keep it in mind. It can retrograde also. When it was retrograde, the nature will be quite different. For Saturn also, if the Sun and Saturn Sun and Saturn combination was there, if they are doing the labor intensive work, they will gain more and more. Okay, now see the other combination: Sun plus retrograde Saturn. If they do labor intensive work, they won't get money. They lose their energy, they lose their strength, and the money will get delayed for them. For example, if they do the work for a month, they will get the payment 2 months later for the retrograde Saturn. Okay, so that kind of the small tricks you have to understand. Okay? Now let's see about the Sun and the combination. We'll finish with Sun today, then we'll read them. Quickly we'll finish, we'll walk more over it. Sun and the Rahu combination. Okay, here is the drastic story. Sun Rahu combination is not quite auspicious. Quite toxic energy was involved. Why? Sun is Sun is there are the 2 grahas which gives you an energy. If it was not good in your horoscope, you may not get the sufficient energy. You feel like every work you do, you lose your energy. One is the Sun, another one is the Mars. So the energy grahas that gives you the energy. When the Sun, if Sun will give you all kind of an energy and activity oriented ability, it's a kind of a leadership energy. Imagine Sun is the father or the guru. Now comes into the Rahu. Rahu was passion oriented. Remember, Rahu is only head. It thinks about all kind of the illusion in the world. There, he or she imagines like anything. You can't even think about it how the mind will work for the Rahu. Passion about everything. The illusion, intoxicant and elliptic in nature. It's all about the Rahu. The Rahu's energy is more aggressive. What kind of an aggressiveness here? If you combine 2 Mars together, what kind of an energy that will produce? That is the Rahu's energy. More aggressive, more, more fierceful. It will think the Rahu will do everything in exorbitant. Even if it was in building a house, okay, you can easily understand if you go into any one of the home, what energy the family head was holding, or what energy the owner of the family is holding. You can easily understand. If the home is too exorbitant, then the Rahu's energy, the owner of the house is holding this Rahu's energy. If it was very well decorated, even if you enter into the entrance of the home is very well decorated, the Venus energy. That's kind of the thing you can easily understand. When particularly for the Rahu's energy, you can easily understand. In the home, the entry of the home, the main entrance of the home is the energy of the Rahu. That's why the entrance of the home is we do for the puja, right? The people will do for the Nilavasal puja. Everybody know about this. Then that is a point. That is a point for the Rahu also. Okay, now let's come into the Rahu. Qualities very very unconventional. See, when this Rahu, the Sun is a conventional nature. Sun wants to Sun won't tend to go out of their conventional thing. Want to follow the tradition, want to follow how the people are doing, strict in everything, strict in action, very disciplined, honest. But you can think everything opposite to the Sun is everything unconventional. Sun was disciplined and restricted. Even he was interested, even it was so much like to him, he won't go out of his control. Even the passion and like and dislike, it will be in a maintained level. It won't go aggressive. But when it comes into Rahu, it becomes obsessive, possessive, and it's an aggressive energy. Here comes when these two combinations, Sun and Rahu combined, conventional, unconventional in nature. It's out of bound. In you can say it is an out of control. Passionate. Passionate here is possessiveness, very, very possessiveness. But what is the best thing out of it? They think out of the box. They think there is no restrictions for them. There is no boundary for them. So that leads to the innovation. Imagine a situation in this Earth planet, if you didn't have an Rahu's energy, you can't even have the laptop. You can't even have the mobile to communicate. No electronic items will be there. If there was no Rahu's energy, there is no innovation. We still live in a 1900 or 1800 stage. Because of the Rahu's energy, it's all the good effects of the Rahu. Innovate the things. Think out of the box. You increase your life quality. You can think in a different way. Okay, when the Sun and Rahu combinations, definitely these peoples will communicate with others. They live in overseas or they had the relationship in overseas, they study in overseas, work in overseas, or they born and brought up in the overseas itself. Mostly these peoples are foreign or foreign. There is all the qualities of the Rahu, Sun and the Rahu combination. Okay. When this combination was there in your horoscope, best and best is live out of the country, live out of your birth country, at least live out of the native place where you born. That is the best for you. If you are still living in your native place, that is not good for you because Rahu's energy is aggravated and it will drag you down in every aspect. It won't allow you to maintain the relationship, it won't allow you to maintain the wealth, it won't allow you to maintain the health. So best thing, go out of the native place. At least it's too best if you go out of the country. Okay. Most of the time they work in the foreign nation. Chemical and drugs are the best thing for the Sun and Rahu combination. These people are the Rahu is a kind one of the quality secrets, not the qualities hidden secrets. These people are best for secret agents. People who work as a spy, Sun and Rahu combination. And the troubleshooting, because when it comes into the electronic items, when you see the people who are very good in troubleshooters, particularly they are Sun and Rahu combination. Why? Okay, imagine a situation, you have a Sun and Saturn combination, Sun and the Rahu combination. Both the people can work in electronic items. But if you ask them to troubleshoot, who will do the first? Sun and Rahu combination. Why? They think out of the boundary. Sun and Saturn will be defining the boundary, it won't go out of the boundary. But if it was a structured system, who works beautifully? Sun and Saturn. If it was a structured system, who will suffer? Sun and Rahu combination. Mostly if they fall in the cleansing or cleaning servicing, Sun and Rahu combination is the best one. Okay. Anybody having Sun and Rahu combination?
Well, I have it in the Bhava Kundali, but it matches actually some of it.
Really? What is that? Where is it?
In the Meena Lagna, the fourth house, they're in Mithuna, Rahu, fourth Bhava, I should say. In the Rashi Kundali, Sun is in the fifth one, but in the Bhava Chalit, it goes to the fourth one. So I was in the foreign, I worked with the foreigners, and I was troubleshooting everything thinking out of the boundary and all that. It actually matches, but I don't know if you consider Bhava Kundali or Rashi Kundali for this.
In your birth chart, how is it?
In the birth chart, Rahu is in Mithuna and Ravi is in Kataka, 3 degrees Kataka.
Oh, that's possible. Just 2-3 degrees only, right? Sometimes, then you can go with the Bhavajani. But here the thing is, when the Rahu in the Mithuna will do this kind of the stuff also, because it's combined with the Mercury. When you see the Rahu and the Mercury, it will tell you the different story. Now here the Sun and Moon combination. That is also give you the different story. See, let's see about here. The Sun-Moon combination, the spiritually oriented, you are the best counselor and you know how to do the task. That is the main for the Sun and the Moon combination. But here the Rahu Mercury combination will tell you this one also. Again, intellectual and nature have to come in. The context with the foreign and the foreign nation, that is of the Rahu. Follow the unconventional path, Rahu only. Here is one important thing. Rahu precedes over the sun. The sun, even though sun was a very dominant planet, but when Rahu was involved, Rahu takes a priority. Rahu leads the force. Okay. So it's good. We'll see the sun and Ketu combination. Okay. This is the kind of the inauspicious combination only, sun Ketu. Sun Ketu, Moon Ketu. If this combination was present, that won't give you any good to the native. But whenever that was a combination with the Ketu, it will give you the different obstacles in your life, different phases of your life. Okay, let's see about the Sun. Sun is the father kind of an energy. We know it is for the administrative authority and government in nature, protective, honest, discipline, structural oriented, follow the tradition, bound with the convention. Now let's see about the Ketu. Ketu was, okay, now see the Mercury. Mercury was reading knowledge, whatever you gained from your reading, what you learned from others. The learned knowledge grows into wisdom. That is the Jupiter. Now you, based on the wisdom, you go beyond the wisdom. That is the spirituality. That's the Ketu's energy. The Ketu is for your spirituality, liberation, and when this is also the people's will part is a Mukti Graha, Mukti Karaka also. If the Ketu was exactly placed in your horoscope, particularly in your 12th location, 12th house, the people will say, okay, this person will get the moksha. So that's why the Mukti Karaka for the Ketu is considered as the Mukti Karaka. When these two combinations are combined, Sun energy and the Ketu's energy, beyond the wisdom and the energy which is holding the leadership, combined together, what it will happen? They will have the heightened energy. They highly, with this energy, what they can do? They are highly dedicated. If they are entered into the spiritual path, these people are too much dedicated in whatever they are doing. If they are entered, mostly these people are unable to enter into a family life. We are trying to enter into the family life also. The relationship is not maintained properly. Well, the detachment comes often. The sun's energy wants to protect everybody, save everybody, but Ketu's energy wants to detach everybody. Who's win over this battle? Ketu only. So the detachment is high. They feel another represent nature. They don't want to hold anything. Because the sun's energy is also want to give to everybody, give whatever in the hand, give to everybody. Let them benefit. Ketu's energy is okay. I don't want anything, even if it is money, wealth, go. Let everybody's enjoy. I want a peace in my life. So that is the Sun Ketu combination. What are the occupations they are mainly involved? Mainly they're revolutionary, but in this modern world, all kind of the top military leaders even consider it as a revolutionary. Spiritual of the high order mostly. Okay. These all the peoples, they self-realized souls, even in this modern world. These peoples are highly realized, self-realized. That's it. But is that easy? Is that easily comes to them? No. They went to lots and lots of trouble and they remove all the obstacles in front of them. Then they will attain this kind of the self-realization. Mostly, they want to serve the mankind. Why? The sun is always want to serve others, want to protect others, save the people. give everything to the people. That's the sun's energy. Here the Ketu is also, I don't want anything. I will take whatever I have. That is the Ketu's energy. When combined together, what is the result that will be? It's servant mankind. Anybody having Sun and the Ketu combination? Hmm? Okay. Why the people were saying it is bad? Because in this dimension, this eighth dimension, which is which is highly thing the people's need in this earth dimension is they need the family. They want to be they want the health. They want the wealth. So the main thing in the relationship have to be maintained health, have to be maintained wealth, have to be protected, right? But when the sun and the Ketu's combination combined, they most of the time they detach from the family. They don't worry about their health even. Whatever they have, they give to everybody. Okay? Okay, now let's see about the horoscope.
So
Okay.
Sun Ketu is like a clash between ego and wisdom, right?
Yes, ego and wisdom. But whose wins in this war? Wisdom wins in this war.
Okay.
That's why these people should try to give everything in this thing. Even they leave the ego also. But imagine a situation for the Sun and Rahu combination, they won't leave the ego. That's why the passion gets precede over them. The kind of the innovation come out of it as a result. But for the Sun and the Ketu combination, the ego will come definitely in front of them. But who will win? The Ketu will win. The wisdom will, beyond the wisdom will take over, and that's why these people are self-realized. Until unless you destroy the ego, the self-realization is out of the question. Okay? Any question till now for the sun with other graha combination? Okay, we are seeing Sarvan horoscope. Sarvan, we missed you today for the second house we discussed. We'll discuss one more time. Okay, we are seeing the Sarvan horoscope. Lagnam is
Yeah, I listened to most of it. Some part, other than some part, the rest are true.
Which one is no?
So I think someone mentioned that I'm a picky eater, which is which is true, but luxurious food, that is not true. I consciously avoid that. So I think someone mentioned that foreign food or something of that sort. Yeah, that is also true. But mostly I eat at home, not outside.
So, okay, let's see.
And there was a mention about grandparents growing up. I think you said that, growing up with grandparents. Yeah, my grandma was with me when I grew up, so that's true as well.
Okay, let's see about this second house very quickly. When the second house in the Rahu, this is not considered as the auspicious one. Okay, now I'm straight away telling there was no diplomacy. It's not considered as when second house Rahu don't give you the family support. Most of the time, this is second house is for the money which you have when you born. The money it's for your family, it's for your speech, it's for the mostly Dhanasthana, right? So when the Rahu was in the second house, the money will flow for sure. Definitely the material benefit you will have for sure. But what is the caution we follow? The one thing is we should not give money guarantee to anybody, even if it is a close relationship. Try not to give guarantee for should not be the guarantor for that person. Then maintain the financial you have to maintain the finance all the time. You have to recheck again and again. Why? Because the Rahu have the tendency to spend the money without money. The Rahu will make you to spend the money, but you won't feel okay. I spend the money this much. But if you didn't recheck, if you didn't realize, your money will flow will go away from just like that. Imagine a situation if you have crores in your account, you definitely you will spend for the money which is needed. For you, it is really needed. But when you realized you may avoid this one and that one while you are rechecking only. On the time of the spending, you won't realize. That's the character of the app. You won't realize. It's no, this is an important one. I have to do this. But when you reach again, you realized, oh, this one I can bypass this expense with this one. I can do I can avoid this expenditure. You can do all this stuff. But that's why you have to recheck your financial statement again and again. Then you can maintain the financial problem. Now comes in second house is also for the basic education. Most of the time, it won't make you do your basic education easily until unless if you live with your grandparents, particularly in your father's side, because it's Rahu, then your education won't get disturbed. Suppose in case if you're living with your family, there is immediate family members, father, mother, and everybody, every other people's in your family, basic education may get disturbed because Rahu was there. It won't allow you to get the education that much easy. But if the convention which is broken, that's why even if you see in the joint family, even if the second house Rahu, they won't get affected. Their basic education will be finished without any problem. The joint family
the
will
grandparent will play a bigger role in their life.
exactly. So that's why they won't get to the problem in their education. They won't get sick easily. Why? Because the energy of the they call this the herd immunity. That means the immune from your grandparents, immune from other relations from your family. That's why the joint family is protective. Will give you when you see the joint family's horoscope, whatever you say, it will be wrong. Then one thing you will have to ask, okay, are you living in a nuclear family, joint family? Then that will give you a different answer altogether. Okay. So mainly you have to concentrate on your money spent. Whatever have money in your hand, you have to be check once or twice, or really have to spend this or.
Thanks to UPI, it's much better now. Prior, when cash was there, it was very difficult.
So, okay, when the you said about the food materials, why we said it as the unconventional foods. The Rahu tends to towards the second house is also for the food, right? Wants to check towards unconventional foods. That means if you are in a South Indian and you are trying to make the different food, I want to try other food and I want to see how the other continent food will looks like. But how it is over right now, you are saying no. I'm only towards the homemade food. Why it
No,
was?
I only eat South Indian food or Italian food, nothing else.
Oh, that's the Italian food is going.
Yes.
That's the thing. The Ragu will do its work for sure. if it was not there, then something is overridden. See, there was only one trick I understand from the chart. Most of the time, the Ragu and Ketu override the other grahas, do its work perfectly without any fault.
Yes.
Even if the other grahas may get disturbed by aspect or combination or the dasha buddhi, but the Rahu and Ketu will do his work perfectly without any fault. Okay. Now, main thing when it comes into the Dhanasthana, you have to look into that. Okay. Now let's see about the family. How is your relationship with your family? Is that
it's quite good. I grew up in a family where my grandma was there. Currently, I live in a joint family. Me, my brother, his family, my parents, all are living together.
That's the thing. So imagine a situation now. If you are not living in your joint family, nuclear family, then the story will be quite different. Because when the Rahu was present in your second house, it makes you do go with the unconventional thing, right? So most of the time,
But your point is true. I don't align on a thought wise with pretty much anyone. So my thought is completely different, and and that is the difference in most cases.
The Rahu will do its job, and one more Graha is also doing that job in your house. We'll see that next only. This was the main thing, but still we can see the Rahu. Now Rahu is in the Swati Nakshatra. We'll see that later when we finish the Nakshatra. Then we will combine it together. The same horoscope will come again. And
I
we will
think there
add,
was a mention about being elaborate in communication. That is also true. I go into great detail when explaining things.
because that's a Rahu, right? The Rahu
Yeah.
what makes you to stop. It's things like, okay, let me make you to understand no matter what. Let's see what will happen. That kind of the thing, that's Rahu's energy. It's passionate about everything. See, here the Rahu was passionate about the speech. Even if you try to stop also, the inner energy won't stop you. Okay, let me finish and make them to understand. That kind of energy will come.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move into the third house. Okay, today we have to discuss the third house.
Benita, you had also mentioned that Rahu, if you are not careful, it will give wealth. But if you are not careful with the money, you could lose it all and even more.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. See,
I think it's in a cycle, right? You get, you lose, you get, you lose, right?
yeah, the Rahu will see. The Rahu will make you do definitely the money wealth. Any news for you? Yes. Rahu will give you the money for sure. Rahu is will. What is the difference between the Rahu and Ketu? Ketu will take you away from everything. There is no relation. There is no wealth. There is no health. But Rahu will touch your relationship. Will touch your health. But it will give you the materialistic. It will give you everything. Okay. But if you are not cautious, if you are not, if you are not cautious in your money management, it drops you to like anything. It will go deeper than where you started. So then again, you will be stay here? No, because if your Dhanasthana is Rahu, it won't allow you to stay in the deeper down all the time. Again, you will go up.
Yeah.
You may see the people. They will say, "No, I started the business. First time I was completely bankrupted." Then if they are bankrupted, they have to stop, right? No, they won't stop. They will start again the second business. They will go to the top, and they will again the bankrupted. They won't stop. Again they will start. But this time they understand from the previous mistake. They even if they are this is the point, they will make a mistake, right? Then they will understand from the previous mistake. That lessons help them to move forward. Even if they are down, they won't go deeper down. They will go up. And then it doesn't mean they won't like they will go steeply up. No, there is a point they will go down and up. They will go down and up. This is the point. They gain the momentum. They know how to manage. Yeah. Okay. The Rahu, if you easily want to understand, if you see the chart of the share market, it goes like this, right? It won't go to you the straight steep way. It will goes to you like this, right? This is then goes like this. This at least if any point in time you see the candle chart or any chart, it goes like this, right? Same goes further up, makes you to go up. And if you are not cautious, if you are there is a point where the horoscope will help you. If you are not cautious, it makes you to deeper down. And if you are not taking any effort, it makes you to deeper down even more, make you to stay there. Because the Rahu's capacity is illusion. We can create an illusion. If your illusion is not used in a proper way, it makes you to stay there and illusion about no, I have money, I have money. You can stand, you can sit under the tree, you can imagine you build a house in front of you. That's the Rahu's energy. That's why what are the things you make to cautious about where whichever the Rahu, where it was standing, significant energy you have to cautious. In Sarvana's horoscope, it's the Dhanasthana. So what you have to be cautious about, about the money, how you are spending. And the family relationship. Because that's the Karaka for, it's a Kudumbasthana, right? Second house, Kudumbasthana. Maintain the relationship all the time. If you until unless you are living in a joint family, that makes you to, even there was a friction, it won't be prolonged for a long time.
Yeah,
Is that
true.
okay? Okay, now let's see about the third house. Okay, the third house is for third house is the Vrakshika because Lagna is the Karni Lagna. Third house is the Vrakshika. Okay, there was no Graha in it. Okay, so whose we have to see? The Rashi, the Vrakshika Rashi, that is the third house.
Mars.
Mars we have to see. Why Mars? Because Mars is the owner of the Vrikshika. So the Mars is also owner of the which house? Again, it is an eighth house. In this eighth house, okay, we are going to see this third house in two parts. Okay, we'll see on the point of view of the third house. When you see in the eighth house, that is the we'll see in his eighth house. Now only we want to read on the third house point of view. In the third house, there is no graha in it. So what is the third house is for? Anybody remember?
Courage.
Courage.
Short journey.
Courage, what is it?
Short journey.
Short journey.
Neighbors.
Communication.
Communication. Somebody said something I missed.
Siblings.
Neighbors.
Courage.
Siblings,
People living
younger
nearby.
siblings, courage. Okay. Now let's see about the ideas then. Let's concentrate on one part. It's about your younger siblings. Now we have to see the owner of the house, but there is no graha where the owner was present. Owner is in the Mars, which is in the sun's house. Okay. Here the sun Mars combination was there, and the Mars which is in the 12th house. Here is the what is the 12th house is for. Again, we will see about in the 12th house we'll see in an elaborate way. But here there is a combination of the 3 and 12 combination was there. So we have to see the 12th house here itself. Why the 3 and 12? Third house we are seeing there was no graha present. So we look into the owner. Owner is a Mars. Mars is in the 12th house. So the 3-12 combination was here. Mars is an energy which is give you the force which is the main planet or give you the courage inside. If there was not courage, if now the courage planet which is the owner which is hidden energy was in the 12th house. Okay, what are the 12th house Mars will do? Your expense will be in exactly on the graha which is present. Maybe your expense will be towards your sibling. That's for the 12th house we will see. Who will concentrate only on the third house? Okay. How is your courage? Now see this combination and you tell me. We'll check with the Sarunan later. Mars is the owner. There is a 3-12 combination. Mars which is present in the 12th house. The sun which is present in the 11th house. Keep that in mind. Okay. Is there any graha aspecting the Mars? I mean the 12th house? No, right?
No.
So we don't need to worry about the aspect. Now only concentrate on the Mars thing. Mars which is in the 12th house, what it will do. And Mars is in the third. The courage, the idea is the owner is in the Mars. Now the Mars is in the hidden house. One of the hidden house, it is the 12th house. What it will do. We have the courage. Yes. No?
They will have,
How
but they will
about-
not show.
Why?
Because it's
Why?
in hidden house. Hidden house.
Okay, the first thing. Let's go by one by one. When the Mars was there in the idea sthana, most of the time the native will work on in the foreign nation. Because the idea sthana there is a communication, and when the 12th house Mars was there, here is the thing, the expense will be come from will goes to the graha which is present in the 12th house. Do you have a brother, younger brother? Or
No,
younger brother?
no younger brother, only elder brother.
Oh, then if it was an younger brother, his expense will be goes towards the younger brother. And when the 12th house Mars, okay, here is the thing we have to consider here the Venusian energy also. Why the 12th house, Aina, Sina, Boga, the energy is belongs to the Venus. Now, keep that point in mind. When the 12th house is Mars was there, the immediately people will say the native who's not having a correct understanding with the females in their family. Most of the time, the spending, the kind of the domestic disputes will come. Why? The 12th house is also for your expenditure. The expenditure which they spend, it's not the native will spend some. Imagine there was an expending or he spent something in different expenditure, but the females in their family won't accept. Then you may ask, why only the female? Because the Mars, which is in the 12th house, the energy here is Aina Saina Bodo, which is the meant for the female energy is Venus. So most of the time, the domestic dispute will come because the friction towards the members of the family one. That's the higher possibility. This can be overridden because it's in the sun's house. Let's check with him. Is that happening?
Sorry, repeat again. Which ion sign?
Okay, here okay, let's go one by one. Now, what the point which I said was there should be some kind of the domestic disputes will come. Why? The Mars is in the 12th house, which is also place for the expenditure. You may spend in some other thing, which is not your thought may not align with your members of your family, particularly to the females. Okay, then why female? Because it is a 12th house, mostly you have to consider the Venus energy here. Then
that's true.
Okay. Then the one why we consider the 12th house? No, every house will have the one. In your Lagna is holding one energy. The Nastana holding one energy. But the 12th house holding the Venus energy.
Mars in 12th itself is economic drainage.
Yes, exactly.
So,
and how the economic drainage will become? Mostly, if you there was an exact relationship in your family, because you already said there is no younger sibling. It goes towards the sibling mode. Maybe for your elder brothers, particularly for younger brothers, that's what moves to younger sibling. Why? Mars is also owner of the third house. So that you have to combine it together the expenditure and the relationship. Expenditure and the relationship. That's the one thing. Now let's coming into the courage part. Now it becomes the hidden energy because the owner, which is in the courage owner, which is in the 12th house, now it becomes the hidden energy. It's a kind of the suppression. You may have the different thought process, want to do that, do this, but this becomes the hidden energy. The driving force is a little bit lack. Sometimes it may get more lacked because of the unexpected spending. Why? You losing your courage because of the unexpected spending. Or okay, here is one important thing. When the 12th house Mars was there, you won't face the enemy in front of you. You won't see the enemy in front of you. The enemy is always hidden behind. They won't come in front of you. That is also leads you to lose your energy very well. See, if it's the enemy in front of you, right, you can directly hit them or you can avoid them or whatever way which is possible, you go away from them. But when you didn't find your energy in front of you, you can't even know what to do, right? That becomes your hidden energy that drains your energy. Okay. How about your courage? That becomes you lose your driving force all the time. Maybe the courage, the driving force will be because of the unexpected spending, or you may hold the grudge. You don't know what to do. because the 12th house is also meant for the subconscious. Uh, you because of the next and because of these events that okay. The unexpected spending will become. That's why you use the energy. You may hold them because the subconscious is also 12th house. That's all that's kind of the okay, I shouldn't do this. Why I did that? That kind of the energy is also hidden. Okay, why we need to worry about this hidden anger, hidden energy? That strains the energy. Well, you may have the courage 100% because the Mars was the owner of the house. May have the 100%. But because of the 12th, the Mars was in the 12th house, the draining of the energy, which makes you to lose the courage most of the time. How is that for you?
I have not had any problem with courage so far. Your
Mm.
point about enemies could be true because I have not experienced enemy in my life. I have not considered anybody as my enemy, and I have not had any problem with anyone so far. So maybe they are hidden enemies which I do not know. I have no idea about it. Courage part, I have not had any problem so far.
The one thing which you go, if the courage is not a problem, means then if you're working in a foreign nation or if you're dealing with professionally, if you're dealing with the foreign peoples,
Yeah.
then the courage will be increased. That is a trick here. See, when the
Yeah,
12th house,
that's true. I was about to say that now that I'm at home, I'm not really doing any work at the moment. I mean, any profession at the moment.
Hmm.
I see no reason for courage actually. So it does not even come.
The 12th house Mars will, if you are working in a foreign nation or dealing with the foreign peoples, then the courage won't get disturbed. Okay,
Yeah.
one important thing. The Mars is also in the inner side number. You may get disturbed in your sleeping. How is your sleep?
Yes. Yes, that's true. That's true.
The sleeping will get disturbed much more, most of the time. The best thing is, uh, okay, is there any precaution you are doing?
Nothing, nothing.
If you are interested in chanting, then best thing before the sleep is chant for Om Namah Shivaya as long as you can. But the Om Namah
Mhm.
Shivaya is not like in greater speed because the 12th house must make you to chant like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. No, you have to make it is the when you make the Om Namah Shivaya, it have the Om is also make you to vibrate in your body. And when you say the Shivaya, it's also make you to vibrate in your body. It's a kind of the thing. In scientifically, if you are seeing, the Om Namah Shivaya will make you the nerve system, particularly in the parasympathetic nerve system, much more relaxed than you can imagine. Even if you are doing or taking the tablet for muscle relaxation or sleeping tablets, this the Om Namah Shivaya is much better than that.
No, I'm not taking any sleep tablets.
So I'm just telling an example.
Yeah, I study until I read or do research or study until I feel asleep and then I sleep. That's all.
Hmm. That's the best thing because it makes you to naturally sleep. But
Mhm.
the 12th house Mars won't make you to sleep because that's the energy which is in the inner sign of Buddha. The inner, it will definitely get disturbed in your sleep.
That's true. That's true. For several months or in couple of years during my Mars Dasha,
Hmm.
I have not slept
Oh
at
my God,
all.
that's the worst thing. That's the
No,
worst thing.
I have not slept at all.
Yeah.
So because I was working, I was also doing my MBA, and I was also traveling. So there was no literally only time to sleep in the flight. That's all.
Hmm. The Mars will do that when the 12th house. But the best thing you can do, you do the chanting for Namachivaya. That's the best and best. That makes your every nerve system relaxed. Even if you didn't even aware, you may think about, okay, I'm going to chant only 108 in Namachivaya before my sleeping. Even in your 21 Namachivaya, you will fall asleep. That's
See,
the
the thing is, my colleagues used to say that I mean, if they don't sleep for one day, they go mad or they feel crazy. But
But
there are times where I have worked 2 continuous days without a break, or 40 hours continuously without a break, and still feel nothing at all. So that
yeah,
probably is the strength of Mars in this case.
yes, absolutely. Because mine is my 12th house is also Mars in it. I do
Yeah.
continuously work day and night, and
Mm.
I won't even get disturbed. But my energy drainage will be really high,
Mm.
and my health was also affected after that. But that's the
That's true.
Mars energy.
That's true. That's true.
But you have
My
to make
Mars Dasha ruined my health.
that will do because the 12th house Mars, right? You combine it together, you will understand. Oh my God, when in my currently I'm in a Mars Dasha, and it will
Oh,
do all kind of the thing into my towards my health. Yeah,
yeah.
I even my vata will be increased. So then what is the big deal if your vata is increased? Like can't do yoga because when your body was increased, your vata is energy. The doing the flexibility is not recommendable. It breaks your muscles, it breaks your tendons. So that's a totally different story. The mark
So you have 2 more years of Mars, right? Yeah.
for me it was 27,
28.
28. Yeah. Then that will do you see the real power of the Mars in the Mars Dasha. The
So
same will goes for everybody. Yeah. The 12th house Mars and the Mars Dasha will tell you all the thing in your life. Yeah. So that's about the third house. Anybody want to say anything?
Saravanan, have you finished Rahu Dasha already?
I am running Rahu Dasha. I am at Rahu
Okay.
Mercury now.
Okay. How many more
Mine's
years?
Till 2034, I believe.
Oh, okay. So you're born in like a fourth pada of Bharani, yeah?
No, first pada of Barney.
First. Oh,
Uh,
okay.
it started in 2017. It's running till 2035.
Oh, yeah, 17, 18 years. Okay. No, I was just curious. That's all. Nothing. I don't know anything, but I
No,
was just curious.
Rahu, so during Mars Dasha was a lot intense. It was action-packed. And Rahu Dasha was a complete break. Go take rest. Uh, and it unplugged everything. It unplugged me from the world. Rahu unplugged me from the world.
Mm.
See, that is the mystery, Vanita, which I'm trying to understand in every aspect. Because Rahu is supposed to give you worldly knowledge, opportunities, and all that. But when the Rahu Dasha started, the Rahu being in Swati Nakshatra, it literally unplugged me from the world. So I don't know why. That's what I'm trying to understand somehow.
there was one saying was there when every dasha was starting, it will start before the 2 3 months before itself.
Mm.
So we have to find out what is the 2 3 months event. Then we have to follow it along with the dasha. Because when there was the general knowledge about the Rahu is Rahu will give you the worldly knowledge. Rahu will help you in all kind of electronic instruments, and you will gain the knowledge now. It's a general knowledge, right? But when it
Mm.
comes into your individual horoscope, every aspect, dasha and the nakshatra and the gocharam, everything plays into a role. When you align together, the answer will be totally different. How you can
Mm.
easily research, right? But it's a quite tiresome process. But this is the best thing if you instead of reading number of the books, there is one thing I interested to most of the time. Because you know about your horoscope, the gocharam is in your hand, you know about your what are the main prominent event happen in your life. So,
Mm.
for example, you were really upset on a particular day, and you were really happy on the day. You met someone which you were not meant to, and you were surprised. You had a surprise event. You note down everything, and even if you bought some jewelry from somebody, give money to somebody, and you donate to somebody, and you meet somebody. There are some events in your life, right? You
Yeah.
make note of it, and if you're much more curious, cautious, and note down the date and time, and in your Pocharam and your birth chart and mark down the date and time and combine the Pochara Graha with your birth chart Graha along with the Dasha Buddhi back in your mind. That will give you the different knowledge altogether. There are the time particularly and one time only if you note down this kind of an event in your birth chart there is one particular nakshatra on one particular day only you can able to donate also. Even if you try to do the donation, it will end up you in a mess. For example, if you buy some jewelry and on some other there are the days you buy that jewelry, it will travel along with you for all the years. But if you buy the jewelry on one day, it will go away from you in the next day. Note down that day. That will be the really good the day which you have to keep that in your mind. You should not do any kind of the purchase on the particular date and time. But there are the rules will be there. This is the easiest way which we can learn from our life. There are a number of rules will be there. Okay, you do this, you do that. This kind of a combination will come. That kind of the combination will come. But most of the time, what happened, right, when I try to research, they said it is generally they will say this is an auspicious day you go and do. Most of the time, the people will say that 8 number is not good for you, but 8 number is good for you. There are the different aspect will come, right? When you go through all kind of the moments in your life and you compare against the Gocharam and Dwachar, this research will be really tedious and you may forget sometime and you don't want to do sometimes. You feel like, oh my God, I'm done with this astrology. Keep aside. All kind of energy will come. But one fine day, if your energy will be much more curious, right? That is the best day to revise that. Okay, this is the event which has happened. That is the day which has happened.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, I was. It's a interesting topic, and I was actually going to suggest check, the slow-moving planets like grahas like Guru when it crossed the natal Guru position, or Ketu crossing the natal Ketu position. If it coincided around that same period when Rahu Dasha started, so it could be also due to that the Guru or Ketu crossing the natal Guru position.
Okay.
So Guru is in for you in Vrishabha, right? So it crossed 10 years ago, probably.
One of my
10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago, and recently 2 years back as well.
Yeah. No, but I think they also say it's a cycle. So Rahu's cycle, the first 12 years something, second 12 years it will affect some way, third 12 years it will affect something maybe it has the effect of third house, fourth cycle will have fourth effect, something like that. I think they have some kind of explanations, but I don't know. Nothing is kind of scientific or any proof. We have to check it ourselves, I guess.
Okay.
I really have to go. This way we can learn many things. Okay, we'll stop the class here. Next week I'm going to Kashi. Okay, that is for the Guru Purnima. Guru Purnima is at 29, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, 29.
So there was no class for the next week. 26, there was no class. We'll continue the class on the August. Okay.
August. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to Africa tomorrow.
Are you going?
I won't be in the class next week anyway. So yeah, Kenya and Tanzania.
Wow.
Kenya is beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. So just to see the animal migration and all that. This is the season, I heard. So.
Okay. So you'll be visiting Masai Mara?
Yeah, Masai Mara and Serengeti and all that. the interesting thing is I'm going with a group of friends, my classmates from engineering college. So we know each other for 45 years almost. So it will be interesting for us.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. All the
Thank
best for
you.
both of your journey.
Enjoy
Thank
the
you.
Guru
Yeah.
Purnima. That's a best, very much auspicious day. And if there is a possible, you can go to any good temple nearby, or the moon gazing is the best day on the.
Vanita, are you in some ashram or are you just going to the temple?
Mostly, I go for the Lagri house on that day. That's only
Okay.
one day they will open in the Kashi.
Okay. Okay.
Otherwise, they in Lagri Mahasaya home, they won't open for everybody to the public for every other day. In the Guru Purnima, full day they will open till evening 6 o'clock, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
And the Kashi energy will give you the different vibration altogether. Let's see. I don't know this year how it will be for me. This
Okay.
is, yeah, we'll see.
Thank
Good.
you. All the
Good.
best.
Good. Thank you.
Thank
All the best. You will
The
see the
best.
difference energy level. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you so
You
much.
can come back and bless us.
Thank you so
All
much. Bye.
the
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
What is it?
Both
the
of you
best.
have fun.
Yeah, sure.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you all next week.
Okay.